I'm Paul, half of Dads and Dice, and today we're going to take a look at the White Castle Duel. We're going to get it set up. We'll see you in a second. All right, so here we are. We've got everything set up for the White Castle Duel, the two-player version of the White Castle. Now, just so that you're aware, we did post a video not too long ago with Devin and I having a playthrough of this game. We did recognize through some comments, some people let us know we did do quite a bit of things wrong during that gameplay. So we actually went ahead and took that video down. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a two-handed play of this game with the correct rules, just so that you can get a true representation of how this game is played. So with that being said, everything is set up here. We have our starting cards laid out. We've got the main board, we've got the blue and the yellow here. And we'll just kind of go over these actions and then we will get started with the game. So this game plays similar to the White Castle with a couple obvious things that it's missing. First thing you notice, there are no dice, there are no bridges. What you might notice from here, though, is the three main actions, or there are three actions that are the same as in the White Castle. So, how you will be playing the game is you have these lantern tokens. So you've got your orange, your black, and your white tokens, and you're going to be playing over 2 rounds. So you have the outgoing round where we'll be placing tokens out onto the main board, and then you have the incoming round or the return round where you'll be returning them to your player board. So one of the big things in this game is you have to place a different color than what is already out there. So these tiles here are actually the action tiles. This is where you'll go to take your actions. And you can see this one is white, orange, black, white, black, orange. So what you have to do is you will take one of those colors, not the one that is showing, and you will cover that lantern space. So here I covered the white one with my orange one. Now, let's say that I had something like this. Whichever color you cover, that is the color of lantern that you will be activating. So if I played this one here, I would then be activating this white lantern and gaining myself a mother of pearl and a Daimo seal. So I would take those, place them on my board. Then on this other person's turn, they could place any other color on top of there, covering the orange, so they would not be able to put orange on there. So let's just say they had something like this, and they put a white one here. They would perform their actions, or I'm sorry, they would run their lantern here, gaining a rice and a coin, and then they would perform the adjacent actions. So that is how the outgoing round goes. During the incoming round, before that actually, you can only ever have up to 3 tokens stacked on a player, on a tile here, and so that's one of every color. You have orange, white, and then black. Now, during the incoming round, instead of placing tokens out, because all of our tokens will be on the board, you will be taking them and bringing them back to your player board. So let's say this person or yellow gets a black one and they put it here, they would then activate their black lanterns, since that is the one that they're covering up. During this returning round, there is no limit to how many lanterns you have. Technically 4 is the limit because that's all there is of that specific color, but you can have 4 and your opponent doesn't need to have any of that color. With that being said, we'll go ahead and go into the actions here. So like I mentioned, 3 of the actions are very similar to the White Castle. You have your courtier, you have your training rounds, and you have your gardens. And for those ones, you're going to be paying either 2 or 5 of a resource, either the rice, the iron, or the mother of pearl, to place out clan seals in the training yards, gaining the resources on the top or performing the action that's on the top. You can, if you're doing the gardens here, you'll place a seal, gaining these little icons on the bottom, which we'll go over in a little bit. as well as gaining the resource in the little token above that. And over here in the courtier, what you would do is you will be going up the castle walls. So the first person that goes here will get to decide which track they want to go up, either the left one or the right one. And then on whatever they land on, whichever they finish their turn on, they will gather those resources. So like here, if they moved up once paying 2 mother of pearl, they would get 2 Daimo seals. If they moved up again, they would get a lantern card, and so on and so forth. If they went, if they skipped over this spot and landed here, they would not receive that one. They would just get whatever they land on. So those 3 actions are pretty similar to the original game. Whenever you place your lantern out, you'll be performing the adjacent actions. So here you have a lantern action, and this one will let you just run whatever color lantern you would like. So, whichever one you want to run, you'll just run it and get all of those resources. We'll come back to the cards here in a second. This little ship right here is the trading action. And for the trading action, what you can do is you will pay 1 resource to get an influence card, pay 2 to get one of these trade stack merchant tiles, or pay 5 to get one of these merchant tiles. For the most part, these are victory points. That's actually the promo, or they are symbols for endgame scoring. And then the only other one here is this flip action, which we'll go over here in a second. These influence cards, and this is what we messed up on our original playthrough, you can buy these influence cards by paying the cost in the top left corner. So that's always going to be Daimo seals or coins, or a combination of both. And then you get to perform the action that's in this white banner here. So you could do a well action, which is just gaining a resource, gaining a coin or seal, getting a exchange token or a victory point. And then here, gaining a lantern card and putting it in your player mat over here. Once you buy those, you will then grab it and bring it to the designated area on your player board. And you will notice there are icons here as well. So this one has the origami. This one has some of the Nabori flags. And this one has a katana on it. So these icons, once this comes over to your player board, this action here will allow you to flip these influence cards over, symbolizing that you have these icons now. So these icons are used for endgame scoring. So how endgame scoring works is multipliers, kind of like in the White Castle. But for the training yards, you're going to be looking at all your red icons, which are your katanas and your kabutos, I believe is what they are. And you're going to be multiplying them either for 1 victory point on this side, or here your kabutos for 2 victory points. So let's say I have 3 over here, and I've got 3 kabutos. That's 3 times 3 times 2 for my victory points over here. So that's how that works. For your bridges, there really is no endgame scoring here, but you do get extra icons. For your courtiers, they score with these Nabori flags. So if you're on the first level, it's 1 times the amount of Nabori flags, 2 times the amount of flags, and 3 times the amount of flags. So let's say you have this 3 and this 2, you have 5 total. You're all the way up at the top. That is a total of 15 points. And then the last way to score victory points is with this origami cranes. So this is a blue origami crane here, not focusing. So you have this blue origami crane, and then you do have some white ones as well. I don't know if there's cards that symbolize that, but here is a white one, here is a white one. This merchant tile is a white one. So you multiply the amount of white ones times the amount of blue ones that you have, and that is your score for those. Just like in the original game of the White Castle, you score for some leftover resources, you score for leftover coins, and I believe that is it for end game scoring. Yes, that is it for end game scoring. So, like I mentioned, I am just going to do a two-handed playthrough of this. If you want to watch the original playthrough that Devin and I did, I'll post that on here. But again, just be aware there was some mistakes during the gameplay that do alter the game pretty well. So if you do watch that, take it with a grain of salt. It does not show exactly how this game is played, but it does give you an idea of the turn structure and all of that kind of stuff there. So we'll go ahead and begin here. I'm just going to flip this coin just to see which color will go first. And it looks like it's yellow is going to go first. So we'll put that here. So in reverse turn order, we are going to draft one of these things. I did not explain the exchange tokens, but I'll do that here in a second. So blue will get to draft first. And I think blue is probably going to take this black one here. And then yellow will get to draft next. Oh, so I will collect these resources. So I'll get an exchange token. I'll get 3 Dymo seals. Now, at most you can ever have is 10 coins and Dymo seals. I get 2 mother of pearl. And like I said, I get 1 exchange token. And then that will go here. And then yellow is going to... what are they going to do? They will probably get this one here, which is an exchange token. They will get 1 food, 1 iron, 1 food, 1 iron, and 2 coins. And this will go there. And that is set up for the game. So we'll go ahead and get started with yellow going first. So yellow is going to... This would be nice because this action is pretty good. But they don't have anything to flip right now. I guess they could perform this action and then flip it, but that's flipping 2 things, so that's not really worth it just yet. So what I think they're going to do instead is they are going to go here. They're going to do a trade. Okay, so actually I just placed this down. So the first thing that I'll do, and actually, you know, let's explain our exchange tokens. So optionally, before I do anything, I can play an exchange token or pay an exchange token and switch any of these activation tiles that I want. So if I wanted this courtier to go up here, I could do that just to make it a little bit beneficial for me. So I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to keep this for a little bit later. But I am going to go here and I'm going to run my black. So that's going to give me a steal. Then here, I'm going to pay a coin and I'm going to get a resource and I will get a coin or a Dymo. So I'm going to just get a coin back. And then the resource that I want, let's do a mother of pearl. And I will collect this and put it here. So I have the possibility of getting 2 flags by the end of the game. I just have to flip it. So that will go there. Okay, so I did my card action. So now I'll do my trade action, and I'm actually going to pay a food to get an influence card. And honestly, this one seems very good. But I don't have a seal. Interesting. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So what I'm going to do, instead of getting this coin, I will get a seal. And then I'll actually take this one. So I will spend that seal to take this card, which will give me a well action. So I'm going to get a coin for my well action, and then I get a lantern card. And I actually need to put these out. They should be face up here. And I get a lantern card of my choice. Let's do a orange one for some mother of pearl. And then this will refresh. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and go here with blue. And we have two mother of pearl, so we can go up at least once on one of these tracks. That kind of changed stuff up there on how that played out. Let's do, yeah, because I don't have enough coins for this. But I can get enough coins for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play orange here, and that's going to trigger my black one. So that will get me a steel and a coin. Right, that was black, yep. So steel and a coin. And then I'm going to trigger the courtier action. And as much as I want to go up here to get a lantern card, I'm actually going to go over here to get 2 coins. So I moved up once. I've spent my 2. Moved up once. So I performed this. Now I'm going to do this. So I'm going to buy with 2 coins. I'm going to spend a Dymo seal. And I'm going to perform this one for 1 steel less. So it's only going to cost me 1 steel. And I'm going to go ahead and go here and get that lantern card anyway. So what lantern card do I want? I mean, making my black pretty powerful, I feel like could be good. So we're going to take that one. All right. So that was blue's turn. All orange. All right, so now yellow is going to go. And I feel like they are probably going to go this way as well. So they're going to go here with their, oh, they can't go orange there. Oh, but that's all right. They're going to go black here. And so that's going to activate the orange one because that's what they're covering up. So they're going to get a rice and a mother of pearl. And then they're going to perform this action here. So they will pay their 2 mother of pearl. This will move up here, and they will gain 2 Dymo seals. And then they'll perform this action by paying a Dymo seal. And then they will trade 1 resource for 3 Dymo seals. So they will get 3 of these. So 1, 2, 3, and then this will come back to their player board there. Now, they are kind of doing a little bit of everything. Probably not the best strategy, but it is what it is right now. Okay, so now we are back over here to blue, and we don't have very many resources. So I would like to cover up a black, but I really have nothing to do. I don't have any resources that I need. So let's do this. With this black, we're going to go here. So I'm covering white, so that's going to get me a mother of pearl. I'm going to run a lantern of my choice. So I'm going to run this one, which gets me a steel, a mother of pearl, and a coin. So that was this one. And now here I will pay a coin to get 2 Daimo seals. And I will take this blue one there. All right, so that was this action. Now we're going back to yellow. Yellow is going to, they would like to cover up this white one or possibly an orange one. They should start flipping stuff fairly soon. Let's see, what can they do for trading? There's not much trading they could do. This would allow them to flip 2 and do a trade action. So it's exactly what that is. But it would be activating the white one instead of the orange one. Which wouldn't be too bad, I guess. Instead of doing that, they could always just take a resource from here. Wouldn't feel that great. Let's see. They could exchange something. So what could they exchange? They could come over here to the lantern. Or maybe they could exchange the lantern with something. Maybe flip these 2. That might be okay. So that's what we're going to do. They're going to use their exchange token, which is optional, and they're going to flip these 2. Just like that. So then they're going to play their black one here. And so they're going to run their white one, which is a mother of pearl and a Daimo seal. And then we will do this one. They'll do 2 Daimo seals. And then they'll pay an extra one to flip 2 things. It doesn't matter which ones we flip. Let's flip these 2 for now. So that one and this one. And then they'll take this. And then they will come over here and run the lantern of their choice. And they're going to run this orange one. No. Yeah, they're going to run the orange one. So that's going to get them a rice and a mother of pearl. Okay, so that was their action. Now we're going to go back to blue. And blue is going to, they like what just came out here. Unfortunately, they don't have 2 coins, but they can get 2 coins. So we're going to place a orange one there. They're going to run the black lantern, which is a steel, a money, and a mother of pearl. And then they get to choose which one they're going to do for this action. And we're going to run it again. So that's a steel, a coin, and a mother of pearl. And then over here, I'm going to spend 2 coins to run a lantern of my choice. And I'm going to run that one again. And that is a steel, a mother of pearl, and a coin. Pretty good little action there. I like that. So obviously I'm going heavy on flags on this one. Okay, now back to yellow. And nothing else can go on this space. So this one is kind of done for now. Okay, so yellow. What does yellow need to do? They don't have any more exchange tokens. They do have 2 mother of pearl, so they can go up here, get another lantern. That might be best for them. And that would be this action. I think that's probably the best thing that they can do. think so. Or they could go here. Yeah, they have to put a white one here if they want to do this courtier action. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to go here, and they're going to do this courtier action. So I'm sorry, they're going to run their black, which is a steal. They're going to perform this courtier action and spend 2 mother of pearl. They're going to move up 1, and then they're going to get a lantern. Probably should be this steal, maybe victory points, maybe Daimo seals, probably Daimo seals. Okay, and so they just got it on there. And then this action here, they can do it. And what would they get? 3 victory points. I mean, that's not bad. They could just get an influence card, which could be this one, but they don't have the money to do it. Yeah, that would be nice to get this one because then they could get 2 well actions, but they need 2 coins here and 2 coins here. So this would be the only one that they can do, but unfortunately they don't have enough of this. Now, we could always pay 2 Daimo seals to get a resource and do that. So let's do that, okay? So they're going to spend 2 to get this card to do a research, to do a trade action. So they'll spend 1 steel, and then they will buy this one. Oh no, they can't buy that one. Ooh. Nope, they can't do that. They cannot do that. So instead, what they're going to do is they're going to take a well action. And the well action that they're going to do is they're going to gain a resource, and it's going to be a food. Okay. There we go. So now we're going to blue. And blue needs to flip some cards. So blue is going to go here. And we're going to flip 2 cards. Let's flip these 2. I'm sorry, I didn't run my orange lantern, so I should have a food. And so we flipped 2, and then we're going to spend 2 to trade. And we'll pay a food to trade. We'll buy. Oh man, same issue. Okay, so instead of spending a food, I'm going to spend a steel. Okay, so yeah, I spent the steel. I'm going to buy this one for 2 of these. And then I'm going to spend 2 of these to get a food, and then spend those 2 foods to put something out here. We'll go here. That will get me 2 seals. Okay. All right, so now we're going back to yellow. Yellow has to play an orange somewhere. They're going to go here. Oh, this should have refilled. So that's going to run their white one. So they'll get a mother of pearl and a Daimo. They will spend 2 to go out here. I'm sorry, to go down here. What do they need more of? Let's give them a flag and a steel. So that was this action. And then over here, they're going to spend 2 of these to get an extra steel, and then spend all 5 steel to place one out here. And they're going to get a lantern card, and then they get to run that lantern card. So, in all honesty, it should probably be this one. And so then they get to run it. So they get a food, a mother of pearl, a daimo, and a steel. Okay, and then we're back over here to blue. And blue is going to use an exchange token. Use an exchange token to flip this one and this one. No, to flip this one and this one. Okay, and then we're going to go here. So that will run my orange, which will give me this. Okay, so first thing is I'll do the courtier action, and I will go down twice on my, or I'm sorry, I'll go down 5 times on the mother of pearl. That will get me 2 steel. And then with my 5 steel, I will spend all of that to place one over here. And I get to get one of those and run it. So I'll run my black one, which is a steel, a coin, a pearl, and a food. Okay. And then over here, with this orange, they can go here or here. Those are the only 2 spaces. They do need to flip stuff. I think this could be worth it. Ooh. They can't really go here unless they forfeit this action again. I think I took this action. I'm going to have to double check. Okay, so after a quick check, this one was taken by blue on that previous turn. So we're still on yellow here. They're going to place their orange one out. They can go here or here, one of those 2 spaces. Now, unfortunately, not enough daimo seals to go there. Would have been good. But they're 1 short. So this one would allow them to trade. This will allow them to flip 2 things. Flipping this would be nice. But they don't necessarily have to do that just yet. So I think we're going to go here. They're going to pay these 2 seals. And then a coin as well to get 3 resources. So those 3 resources, let's get some white. 1, 2, 3. So that they can start moving up this castle. Or maybe 2. Maybe they go 1, 2, 3 instead. Let's do that. Okay. So they took this, and now they're going to do a trade action. And unfortunately, they can't get any of those there. So what we're probably going to do instead is do a well action. And we will take a coin. Okay, so that is their last turn of the round, and now blue is going to go. And I think blue is just going to go here. They're going to run their black, which gets them a coin, gets them a pearl, gets them a food, and a steel. They're going to flip 2 things. We might as well just flip these flags. And then here, this action, we unfortunately cannot do it because we don't have what we need. So we'll take a Dymo seal. Because now that is the end of the outgoing round. Now we're going to go ahead and do the incoming round. First player switches over, and blue is going to get a turn immediately. So we're going to get to go again. And I think we are going to go here. So we're going to take this white one. We're going to place it there and get a mother of pearl. We are going to... Ooh, I should have done that different. I didn't need this one. You know what? On that last one, instead of getting this Dymo, I would have got... it doesn't matter. It's okay. It does not matter. Yeah, it does not matter. We're going to spend 2 food. I mean, yeah, that's fine. We're going to spend 2 food, and we will go here. Gets me a steel, and then another flag. And then for this one, I'm going to spend 3. This will come over here. I'm going to get a lantern and then run that lantern. So I'm actually going to grab this one and run that lantern. So that is a steel, coin, a pearl, a food, and a seal. Okay, so now it's to yellow. And yellow is going to take an orange one, most likely. They're going to take this one. They're going to get a food, a pearl, seal, and a iron. So that was for taking the orange one. Then they're going to run one of their choice, and they're going to run the same thing. So a food, pearl, seal, and a iron. And then over here, they're going to pay 2 and get 2 well actions. And these 2 well actions that they're getting are, let's say, 2 resources. Okay. Now back to blue. Let's take this, and I get a steel, a coin, mother of pearl, that, and a seal. I'm going to do this one by paying 3 coins. And then I get a lantern of my choice, and then I get to run that lantern. Just going all black here, I guess. So that's 2 coins. One of each resource and a seal. Okay, and then I get to do this action there, which will be spending 2 to go here to get 2 more seals. Okay, now it's going to be yellow's turn. Yellow is going to get this one. Yellow should definitely get this, but they don't have enough stuff. They will. Yep, so they're going to go there. They're going to run that, so that's a pearl and a seal. And they will flip 2, and then they'll flip 1. So they're going to flip this one and this one. I'm going to grab this one, and they will flip that one. And they will pay these 3. Okay, now it's going to be blue. Blue is going to take this one. And we'll go here first. We'll spend 5. That's 1, 2. And then we'll go here and we'll spend 5. And we'll throw this here. We'll do a trade action for 1 less, for a resource less. This is just 3 victory points. I'll do this one. And I'll spend a coin. And I'll get this one. And we'll grab this here. Okay. Now it's back to yellow. Yellow is going to take this one. Food, pearl, seal, and iron. And then they're going to do the courtier action for 2. That's going to get them an influence card. This is really the only one that they can get, so they will pay this. Get a resource and a coin or a seal. They'll grab a coin. And then a resource of their choice. This one. Okay. And then they will spend 5. And this will, they will only spend 2. And they'll get a lantern card. Let's make it this one. Okay. Now it's going to be blue. And blue is going to get this one. Steel, coin, this, and another coin. Ooh. Right, so then we will flip the 2. We'll flip this one and this one. And then for here, we'll pay 2 to get 2 victory points and a lantern card. This one's probably best. Okay. Yellow is going to go here. I'm going to run this one to get a pearl. And this and this. And we should have gained a steal here. So they ran that. Now they're going to pay a coin and get 2 more steal. This will come over here. Oof. Okay. Now over here, we've only got 2 more turns each. All right, let's take this orange one. And so what we'll do is we'll pay 2. Oh, man. All right, what we'll do here. Oh, boy. Okay. We're going to do this action. Yeah, we're going to do the bridge action. Do something a little crazy here. We're going to spend... Oh, hold on. So I ran this, so I should get a food and a victory point. And then I'm going to spend 2 of these to get another food. And then I'm going to perform the bridge. So we'll go here. So I spend 5. And then I'm going to do this. Spend coins. Because that gets me a card. 2 victory points, an exchange token. So that was that. And now over here, I'm going to do it. I'll spend these 2 and I'll get 5 coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. And this one comes here. Okay. Yellow. Yellow wanted that bridge action. Yellow's going to go here. The food they can't gain. They will gain this, this, and the steal they can't gain. But they're going to pay these 2. They don't have that, so maybe not. Maybe that's not what they're doing. That is not what they're doing. They're going to go here and get a pearl, 2 seals. They're going to run a lantern. They're going to run this lantern again, a pearl and 2 seals. And they're going to do this and spend a coin, or spend a seal and get 2 more resources. Okay. Now over here, I have an exchange token. This is really it. So I'm going to spend this exchange token to move this here. Oh, that's going to help him. It's all right. Oh, but I don't have 2 Daimos. So maybe that's not what I want. Maybe I just get 3 victory points. All these coins are good for nothing. Can I come out here? I can't go out there. Moving up here would be the best thing. No, not even really. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so I think flipping stuff probably is the best. All right, so we're going to do that. This will come here. This will be a food and a victory point. I'm going to flip 2 things. I'll flip these 2. Okay. And then here, do I just take a victory point? Yeah. Just a victory point. Okay. And then final turn over here. This will go there. They'll get a steal. They can't get a steal. 2 cards to flip. These 2 are the ones. And then they will pay 2. Actually, they won't pay 2 because they can't perform that action. So they will just get a point. All right, and then that is the end of the incoming phase. This should have been revealed a while ago. Not that it makes a difference now, but let's go ahead and go through end game scoring here, and we'll pull out our steps here just so that we have it in front of us. So final scoring. So at the end of the return round, remaining resources. So for every 5 coins or seals, it's 1 point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be 1 point for blue, and they have 5, so that's 1 point for yellow. Nabori flags. So each of ours are going to be multipliers of 2. So yellow is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they will have 8 times 2 is 16. So they'll be at 18. Okay. And then blue is going to have quite a bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 times 2 is 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20. So that'll be at 34. Okay, so we've done the Nabori flags. Next, we have the katanas and kabuto. So we'll do the katana. We'll do this first training ground first. So we'll start with yellow. These are all worth 1 over here. So this is 1, 2, 3. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 katanas and 2 kabutos. So for this training yard, that is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 times 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 4, and then this one is 2. So that's a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then over here, it's just for the kabutos. So they have 2. So it's 1 times 2 times 2. So that is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. For blue, they have 1 times 1. So that's 1 point, and then 1 times 3. So that's 3 points. So that's a total of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then over here, it's 2 times 3, which is 6, times 2 is 12. 1, 2, 10. So blue is at 50. All right. And then finally, we have origamis. And neither of us got origamis. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not do all of these. So there should be 2 more points. 1, 2 for this one. And here there's 1 more thing. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2 times 4 is 2 times 4 is 8, times 2 is 16. So I need 4 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then for the last one is origamis. Multiply your total number of blue origami cranes by your total number of white. So we actually didn't flip any of these origami cranes here. Neither of us did. And so that is end game scoring. We have a total of blue with 56. Yep. And then yellow with a total of 28. So not nearly as good as blue there. So that is a complete two-handed playthrough of the White Castle Duel, this time with the correct rules on that one. Now, of course, there may still have been a misplay in there at some point. So if there is, apologize for that. It's a little bit hard to keep track of 2 different things here. But like I mentioned before, we do have that original playthrough. If you want to watch it, it's linked in the description below, but just be aware that it does change the game completely, and this is a better representation of that game. So that is all that I have here for this two-handed playthrough of the White Castle Duel. Pretty strategic game. The fact that you have to balance out your coins with your Daimo seals, depending on what influence cards are out here, trying to balance, where you're going to be getting your victory points. Quite a bit going on. So with that being said, appreciate you guys watching this playthrough. And as always, remember to like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff really does help. It helps our channel grow. Until next time, see y'all later.